Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest. And in this video, we're going to cover three important subjects that you really need to know right away right now. The first two are going to be about TMR runes, and then we're also going to be talking about secondary VCs. Specifically, we're going to talk about what you should be farming right now because I think a lot of people don't understand what they need to be farming. Number two, we're going to be talking about favorite equipment because you can actually mess up your trust runes a little bit that way. And then we're going to talk about the weird situation that we have with secondary VCs. So let's go ahead and dig in. So let's go ahead and talk real quick just about unit formations because this did come up in my stream and I think a lot of people may not know this. If you do have a specific unit with a favorite equipment that is a TMR that you have actually TMR runed, it's really important that you go through and just remove your TMRs from your favorite equipment because it will potentially remove or mess up your runes. It won't update it, but what it'll do is it'll like suck the runes off and it will just like put a bare TMR on your unit. Which could potentially mess up your TMR like plans if you're setting an auto formation and you're just like, yeah, I'll use whatever equipment I have for them. So first off, make sure you go through and unequip all of your favorite equipment. Second off, lots of questions about what you should be farming, and I have the answer for you. So the biggest thing for trust runes that you need to know right now is that the biggest bottleneck is actually in acquiring red trust runes. If you don't understand the trust system right now, that is okay. What you need to understand though is the bottleneck. So the bottleneck happens in the item exchange shop. It happens down here in the Truststone shard shop. So for each of these red shards, you can basically only get 50 red shards per month. What this means is you can only get 2.5 red shards per month or 2.5 trust shards per month of each number. That would limit you per month to 12 trust runes, right? Because you have 6 different trust runes, and 12 trust runes per month basically allows you to do 12 runes, right? Or 2 TMRs, right? So that's the really big bottleneck. And a lot of people are literally going into the far plane right now, and you definitely need to do this. You definitely need to go into the far plane, and you do need to farm the double drops in the Truststone chamber every day. You can do this in multi, which is important to know. And if there's one big thing, if you get out of this video, it's that solo multi is back. So if you have a solo multi system set up, this is going to be really good for you for half the NRG because this is very NRG heavy. But you are going to need to farm this. This is what you farm in order to get those runes to convert. But right now, there's actually a better thing to farm. You will want to farm that by the end of the month to get all of those 12 runes, right? But right now, actually farming the original Final Fantasy IV event. So that's going to be this one, the high difficulty, not the raid rerun that just came out, but farming the original one. I like to farm it in multi. So I'll show you which one I farm. And there's a reason for this. So if we go to the Mog Shop, and we take a look at the medal system, you'll see here that the old reissued Tombstones of Guedia, they actually do have the select Truststone shards ×5 in them for 15,000 tokens. Now you get 4 of these per day, which is really a big deal because that means you get 1 Trustmaster TMR rune per day if you can farm 60,000 tokens, which you can do in multi. If you farm the non-brutal multi Final Fantasy XIV mission, you can, for 1800 NRG, get 60,000 tokens to buy this every day. This event is going on for 33 more days. So within the span of 33 days, you could potentially get 33 red trust runes, which is the equivalent of 5 TMRs worth of runes, as opposed to doing just the other method where you would only be able to get 2 runes or 2 TMRs worth of runes. Now, there are other ways to get these types of tickets, but they are not daily like the Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers reissue Guedia Tombstone event is. So you can see like the reissue Raid Revival medal. You can see right here, you can get them for 60,000 tokens, but they're limited to 4. They're not going to refresh. The MR are limited to 8. So it's really important that you do this every day, or that you just keep farming the Final Fantasy XIV event. And this is something that we've been told from JP, like we were told they were going to add Truststones to this event, and this is the way to go. Like, this is what you need to farm. I literally come in here, I go to Shadowbringers EX3, I put a password on, turn ability effects off, and then I literally run this nonstop. Literally, oh, I have auto turned off. But I literally run this nonstop. I grind out the 60,000 tokens, and then I exchange them for that red TMR, those red TMR rune materials. I am also grabbing the yellow TMR materials as well, or the yellow trust mastery materials as well, because they're only 3,000. And you're going to need, like, the more trust runes you have right now, the better. But this is really important if you are someone in a higher level guild, or you are trying to be competitive. This is going to be the best way to get TMR runes faster, and to be able to augment more TMR runes with a full UR TMR set. Now, this is going to be a lot of grinding. This harkens back to the original days of War of the Visions. A lot of people are saying, you know, oh, there's no way this is intentional. This must be a bug. No, this is old school War of the Visions here. This is what the game used to be, was farming multi nonstop all the time, every day, to try and get what you needed to get. So it's not that this is a bug. This is not a bug. This is literally how it's intended to be. This is something that we knew was going to come. You know, I'd heard from multiple JP players to be prepared to grind this. So get ready, grind your Final Fantasy XIV, because this is going to be very important to the short-term power of your account, particularly if you are a competitive guild. It's also going to be very important for potentially if you're wanting to do arena over the next couple of weeks, if you're wanting to do class match. All of that is going to be very important. Now, I do want to touch on secondary VCs just a little bit. I know a lot of you are going to have questions about trust runes and all of that down in the description down below. I understand Truststones are confusing. I understand many of you probably have questions about Truststones right now. I don't fully have a full grasp on them, but I do know what I need to do to farm them. And that's what I'm trying to share with you guys, is you may not have a full grasp on it, but you need to start your farming right away. And that's why I'm telling you, this is what you need to farm. You're going to be in multi a lot. You're going to be in multis for Final Fantasy XIV. You're going to be in multis for Truststone runes, because it's a very NRG intensive event. So just batten down the hatches, get ready, and get ready to kind of dive into this. Now, double VCs are a little weird, and the data mine hasn't come out on it yet. But from what I can tell, it's most similar to the old style of JP's vision card buffs. However, there are some discrepancies that indicate that it may be a global exclusive VL percentage, or VC percentage for secondary VCs. For example, in Ramuh's VC, we saw that the elemental resistance up was actually 50%, where normally it would be expected to be 40%. That's a discrepancy that is unusual, because usually you would expect it to be one or the other. When you look at the other stats that are on the Ramuh VC, there is a thread on Reddit about this where we are talking about it. Ready Player Will is taking a look at the numbers as well. We are going to talk a little bit more about this at the unofficial second anniversary stream. But just for right now, if you're curious about secondary VC percentages, you're going to have to just kind of look at the raw numbers, because it seems like the data may not 100% be correct. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you guys next time.